Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome back to today's episode of Guardians Daily for you. What do we got to cover? To be honest, a little tired. Long night last night watching those Cleveland Cavaliers get a big win over the Detroit Pistons in Game 5 last night. Game that really had no business winning, but they did it. So that was fun. But it was an all around good day for Cleveland sports yesterday as your Cleveland Guardians also got a big win and a series sweep over the Angels. Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles Angels, LA Angels, whatever you want to call them. We swept them. Big day for Cleveland sports. Much needed 3-game sweep heading into an off day today for your Cleveland Guardians. They needed that. Needed it bad. They had the right guy on the mound to do it with Parker Messick, and the pitching staff deserves a ton of credit for their work this series. Obviously, the same guys kind of stepped up throughout the series offensively. Angel Martinez, we'll get to him. Chase DeLauter, red hot right now. Been on a tear. Still not really necessarily the power's kind of dropped off a little bit, but he is hitting the ball to everywhere, all over the park. Not a pitch he can't hit right now. Obviously, Bazana still causing havoc on the base pass. So a lot to like with this team right now. And with this Guardians team, it's young, it's fun, it's they right now they're one of the best teams in the American League because the American League not that good. You look at the standings, and this team somehow is actually currently second in the entire American League, and it doesn't feel like they've been playing their best ball yet. They had that tough weekend. I mean, imagine that little weekend series they just lost against the Twins. You flip that right up there, you maybe have a little more breathing room. Obviously, so early in the year, standings wise, who cares about standings right now? But it is interesting when you look at this team, obviously we're still ways away from trade deadline and things like that. But could they be buyers? Could they be looking to add a little more? Because obviously the glaring hole with this team is the middle of the lineup. They got funky with it yesterday. Stephen Kwan called it a day off, call it a soft benching, testing things out. Been bad. Hasn't been able to hit in that leadoff spot. A little bit of a let's see how this goes. Oh, Angel Martinez, leadoff homer. Like there's things like that with this team. Now are moves being made at the top of this lineup? Like you can get creative with this Guardians lineup right now. I've been talking with people. Maybe a move for DeLauter. And they flipped yesterday. DeLauter hit third, Jose second. Does that help Jose? Jose's still not hitting like himself right now. Like we've said multiple times, we've seen it already. A full progression of cold, hot, cold. He's gonna go through his swings. You just got to assume with Jose the good's going to outweigh the bad, and those good stretches are going to be what makes him an all star, makes him one of the best players in the game. So that's coming. He'll get hot. He'll get on one of those runs where teams just don't want to pitch to him. And he's still getting that respect. Similarly to Mike Trout from the Angels, still not the player he used to be. Still a very good bat. Obviously, he's got the power this year. Still one of the best in the game. But he still gets the respect. He still gets the walks. He still leads the league in walks. Teams don't want to pitch to him. You know, Maybe that says more about the Angels lineup, but they still got Soler. They got like bats. They got real MLB big league hitters around him. But that reputation, that sticks with you. So with Jose, there has been a lot of, man, Jose didn't even get a hit tonight, or he's 0 for his 2 for his last 16 or something like that. But he's still getting walks. He's still pitching. They have to still give him that respect. And I do think a part of that has been the lack of fear behind him. With Manzardo struggling or Hoskins, who knows how long if Hoskins is here for the long haul, honestly, with his struggles. But putting DeLauter, in that 3 spot, moving Jose up to 2, it's a little bit, it's a little funky. I'm not, man, they probably was more of a 1-game thing. I'm sure Quan will be back in leadoff spot Friday. It didn't seem, based on all accounts, they're not ready to make that move full time yet. But it gives Jose a lot of extra protection if you have DeLauter behind him. But that's also what's helped make DeLauter so good is that he has Jose behind him. So teams really have to be aggressive with him. So it is a little bit of a catch-22 there, which version of that they want to go with. But a lot to like in the top of the lineup yesterday. DeLauter's been red hot, like we said. Angel Martinez, leadoff homer last night. We're going to talk on that in a second, but I do want to talk about the pitching staff. It's something you can't really ignore at this point, and it's the fact that Parker Messick's right up there as the best rookie pitcher in baseball right now. You know, had arguably one of his worst starts the pit outing before against the Twins, but he was really good yesterday. He looked sharp. He didn't blow you away with the strikeouts. Kind of got some more late as he got through the start. Went through 6, quality start, did everything you need to do. And that's just what he's been for his career. His numbers through his first 30 or so, 20 or so, whatever the number is, starts, he's as good a pitcher as there's been. You know what I mean? Like, and that's historically, like, for a guy to come up, especially where the game is today. You don't see guys come up and just dominate from the start, especially as starting pitchers. Obviously, Paul Skeens is doing it, but that was with all that hype. Parker Messick hadn't heard much about until he got up to the big league level. Like last season, even when Messick made his debut, there wasn't this big clamoring of, man, we got this stud lefty that just is unhittable in Columbus. We got to get him up here, and like the whole fan base ready for it. He's obviously very good in Columbus, but that wasn't the narrative around Messick when it came to bringing him up. But since he's been here, he's been undeniably incredible. He's just been a great MLB pitcher. And now you start to think, what can his ceiling be? I mean, is he I think he's on pace to be an all-star this year. And he's a rookie, I get that, but there's no reason he shouldn't be. We've said it with Gavin too. Like, you're here. You're here to play. Like, I don't care how young you are. If you're going to be getting the ball every 5 days and your stuff's this darn good, there's no limit on expectations. Like, I still think Gavin has Cy Young aspirations. And I think, honestly, Parker Messick, you can't say he's not in that conversation as well with how good he's been. I mean, the numbers are unreal for Messick, and it continued last night. So now, like, rookie of the year, he's right up there. Obviously, DeLauder's another name you've seen up there after his hot start. Hey, let him split it. Let him do a little Jason Kidd and was it Vince Carter? Yeah, I think it was Jason Kidd and Vince Carter. They split the award. Maybe it was Grant Hill. I think it was Grant Hill. Darn. That's the show. I'm just kidding. We're not done yet. But we are going to keep on moving to Angel Martinez, who killed the Angels this week. Angel. You can do a little pun there, a little fun stuff with Angel Martinez because his name's spelled Angel. But leadoff blast for Angel against the Angels yesterday. Yeah, he's been on fire. Should have had 3 home runs really in this series. He got robbed of one by Joe Adell the other night after he had already hit one previously in that game. So he's the team leader in home runs right now. Didn't even expect him to really be a power guy. You can see the raw strength from him. He's an athlete out there. Like, he's so smooth going from position to position. I think now the fact he's stopped playing any infield has been really good for him. He's making him a pure outfielder, whether you're going to be, who knows where you're going to be out there, but you're just going to go play the outfield, I think maybe sometimes that is too much. Like Schneemann, he can play literally anywhere on the field. Same with Arias and these guys. But actually, Arias is probably a similar example for the reverse when, Arias kind of became a full-time infielder, stopped playing the outfield. See the inverse with Martinez. Cut out the infield stuff. I guess if he really had to, he could do it. But I think him being able to settle in and just, hey, you're a right fielder, left fielder, maybe even a little center. I think, like, Schneemann's so good, he can literally go anywhere, and it doesn't affect him at the plate or mentally and all these things. For a young guy like Martinez, maybe that is too much to put on the plate. And, people don't think about that. But him having to play, hey, you're playing third today, you're playing second, you're playing left, you're playing right. I feel like that does end up becoming a lot for a young hitter like him. And I think it can affect what you do at the plate. So, since with this season, he's been awesome. And he has the look, too. Like, he's got a little bit of swag out there. We've talked about it. He's got a pretty swing. Obviously, the big knock on him coming into the season was, is he really a switch hitter, or can he really just a right-handed bat who likes to hit left-handed as well against righties? And that's been the talk. He's been really good from both sides this year. And especially lately, he hit his home run yesterday was right-handed, but the day before was left, and he should have had 2 left-handed, And he's been really split. Like last year when they used him, he was pretty much exclusively against left-handed pitching, But that's not the case this year. He's a guy you have to have in your lineup every day for Angel Martinez, and I love it. And he's a guy, he fits and he plays the game the right way. He runs the bases. There's really not a gap in his game. It's just avoiding the chase pitches and getting ahead of himself at the plate but when he's patient and working his walks and staying on the ball, sky's the limit for Angel Martinez, and we've seen that so far. So really happy with where he's at. And I think they have something here. I think the move has got it. If you don't want Bazana at the leadoff spot, I get that. We just got a little taste of Angel yesterday. Tasted pretty good, didn't it? It was pretty tasty. Right away, lead off homer. It wasn't like it took you long to prove. There's a little bit of a jolt here. And I don't know what the future holds for Steven Kwan. We can talk about Kwan every show because he's going to be a topic. We'll talk about him tomorrow probably. Yeah, we're talking about him now. So he's getting his shine. How long? How long can we do it? Because it's been just disastrous at the plate. And it's been that way since last season, towards the finish of last season as well. Like, this isn't new. And it doesn't seem to be getting better. So maybe this day off yesterday, day off today, you go into a weekend series against the Reds, and he's rejuvenated, and he finds himself at the plate, and he's taking things to left center, and you're like, man, that Steven Kwan guy, how could you ever think about moving him? I hope so. I don't think it's going to happen. Not anytime soon right now. And you know that player's still in there, and I think Steven Kwan, like we've said, probably the best outfielder in baseball defensively. He has a spot on this team. He should be playing every day. I'm not debating that. Because regardless of what he's doing at the plate, he should be in this lineup. We want him out there in center or left field every day. I am not saying anything against that. But if he can't hit, it doesn't hurt to throw him down to the 7 or 8 spot. Or I would say 9, but Rocchio's got that secured. I like Rocchio there. Throw him down near the lineup. And it might be good for him. He's going to get some different opportunities there. A little less pressure. He can still work through his things. You know what I mean? And if it works out and it makes sense and he gets hot and that makes the right sense to move him back up to that leadoff spot, do it. But I think it's worth the challenge. It seems like they're scared it's really going to hurt him ego-wise and mentally. Who cares? Be a pro. Be a pro. And I'm not saying he's not. Steven Kwan's been the ultimate pro since he's been here. Ultimate clubhouse guy. He's done everything the right way. So I don't really like doing all this negative Steven Kwan stuff because he's been one of my favorites since he's been here. Does everything you ask of him and has the right intentions. But right now he's just not hitting. He's not providing offensively. That's fine because of how good he is defensively and what he brings to this clubhouse. Obviously, they may have missed the mark a little bit on when they could have traded him last year. We get that. Same with Clase. That wasn't their fault. That was Clase's fault. He was cheating. He was gambling on games, if you didn't hear. It was kind of a big story. And our other pitcher was doing it. It was crazy. But regardless, Kwan's not that. He's not doing anything like that. He plays the game the right way. So I don't want to be too negative on Steven Kwan. But there's a taste of what Angel Martinez looks like in the leadoff spot yesterday. I liked it. And we got an off day today. So no picks today. No big grand, who's going deep tonight? I can't give you one. They don't play today. But I guess, what do you got, Thursday? Watch a little PGA Championship. You got that? I'll be watching it this afternoon. I'll be watching it this morning at the office. Got things to do. PGA Championship. Anything tonight? Hey, NFL schedule. They do a whole... the MLB draft maybe gets less viewership than the NFL schedule release. And that says something. It says something about both leagues. Take a look into it. How you brand yourself. They're going to make this NFL schedule release feel like a game tonight. So there you got that. But we'll be back tomorrow morning. We got a weekend series against the Cincinnati Reds, in-state rival. We'll cover all that tomorrow. Get into your weekend preview. We'll get you a pick then. Maybe we won't know what the lineup is yet, but it's going to be a fun weekend at the ballpark. That Red series always gets juiced. So that'll be fun. Cincinnati Reds come to town. We'll give a full weekend preview on tomorrow's Guardians Daily. I appreciate you tuning in. This was a fun one. Go Guards. I forgot to end the video. It took me a second to get there. And go Guards. Appreciate it, guys.